And there's this one screw here that's holding in the DVD drive. Once we get that screw out, just push on the tab, DVD drive pops out. And this drive is damaged, there's no front cover. You can actually see water damage there, that's not a good sign. So hopefully there's not major damage done to this motherboard. But always look for water damage, white spots on the board or on the hardware. Okay, I'm just taking a look at the processor there. Going to leave the processor on for now. It's not really in the way. And I'm going to get a Phillips out, or a straight edge screwdriver, I'm sorry. And pull under the hinge there and pop that hinge cover plate off. Now we unscrewed those screws from the bottom, so now we know that there's no screws holding it in from the bottom. So we could apply a little bit of pressure here, knowing that it will come off. And actually there was no screws holding it in, but it's always better to be safe. Swing that keyboard out. You'll see that there's two posts under that keyboard. There's actually more than two that hold that keyboard in. And we luckily took those screws out, which I showed you before. Now let's get the wireless cables out there, and then the LCD cable. Those wireless cables are the antenna that go to the top of the screen, and then they feed through to the wireless card. They're always a pain, those wireless antenna, but they try to get them up to the highest point on the laptop they can to give you better reception. And then there's a couple screws here just holding the hinges in for the screen. Oops. Oops again. Sometimes when I rush, I drop that screwdriver, so. Let's pull that screen right off. I love them when I get the screen off, then I don't have to worry about the thing. It's a bulky, unwieldy thing having that screen on, so it really allows you to work good on the laptop after that's off. Now there's a few more screws. And that's a normal size screw on this laptop. Almost all the screws are that same size, so we don't have to worry too much about where we put them. Let's just throw them all into one big pile. Okay, just check if there's any other screws holding the top plate on. One more over there. Let's detach the ribbon cable from the touchpad. There we go. Now we don't have to worry about breaking that cable when we take the top cover off of the bottom cover. And then let's hit all the remaining screws on the bottom here. One thing you might want to try if you want to speed up your repairs is to get an electric screwdriver. But I am very partial to this tiny one I have here that I've been using on laptops for 2 years now probably. Same screwdriver. And it does the job fast enough for me. Now my screwdriver is losing a little bit of magnetic force, so I'm just take a magnet, which I believe came out of a speaker. I don't remember where I got that magnet. And scratch that screwdriver onto that magnet and recharge the magnetic force. Okay, let's just make sure we get all the screws out. We're going to attempt to lift the top cover from the bottom cover. And if there's no screws holding it in, all will come off very easy. And there is a screw that we missed. Just taking my finger now, I'm just pressing it in between the two covers there to pry off the front. I'm just checking the computer for corrosion. It looks like something did spill in there with that discoloration on the top cover. Now let's just take a look here. Look under these. Always look under that sticky black plastic if you could get it off. See if there's anything that got under there, any water, moisture. You'll see white spots of corrosion if there is. I'm looking at the power jack there. Just want to determine what the problem is with this motherboard. If it's fried or is it just a power jack problem. So we're going to take the motherboard out. And there's 4 screws here that hold in this motherboard. All on the left side. So you pull out all those screws on the left side, then just lift up the left side of the motherboard,